Hi, this is Darman and welcome to my Minecraft video. I'm here in my version of Stampy's Lovely World, which I created by myself. And I'm here mostly to show you some of the differences between mine and his world, and the reason I chose them. And most of them have to do with, possibly geographical issues, or just sometimes they're just slight improvements to what I think is already a great design. But I'm going to take you back inside and I'm going to show you the first one, which is my daughter's room. This is normally Helga and Henry's room. I think that's still their names. But as you can see, this is decorated a little more of a Amy Lee sort of style, as my daughter says. She kind of put some flowers and beds, but the most significant part is that she added this balcony, which is a mirror to what Stampy's is, and I think it's a great improvement. I think it balances the symmetry of the outside of the house. Plus, it gives us a really nice view. You've got the town, you've got the tree and the house and the dogs that stare at you and growl. We've got the wishing well, and you can look down and see some of the other parts of the house. But it's actually a really nice view. So I think I think that would be something that would look great on your house, Joe. If you're watching this, Stampy. Now we're going to go out of here. We're going to go downstairs to the pool. Coming out of her room, I always get disoriented. Okay. We're going to go down to the pool room, which in the video, he notated that he was thought it was sort of plain and wasn't quite sure what he's going to do with it. So I kind of changed it into like a jungle theme. The rest of the house is so warm and there's wood and stone everywhere. I thought, this could be like as if you came across a watering hole in the middle of a jungle and decided to take a bath. That it's a extremely rectangular and square watering hole. But, hey, this is Minecraft. So you could I can imagine kind of sitting on the edge here and just sort of having some privacy with the vines and, just relaxing, hearing the sound of the water. And, and then you've got the, jungle hot tub, however that fits into your, and the theme kind of continues back into the hallway a little bit. But I just thought it was, kind of warmed up the place a little bit, and I thought it just kind of fit the theme of the house a little bit more. The library is not really any different, except for you'll see the fireplace is currently off, which would allow you back to the room, which is the same. But you'll see there's a couple of dispensers here, which Stampy doesn't have. And they hold some fire charges, which weren't in existence in the game when he built this. So, he may want to go back and add these. So, what happens is it just automatically lights the fireplace when you close it, which currently it doesn't. He has to manually close them. So, obviously the fire shuts off when he opens it, and then poof, comes back on, which is really handy. And you do not have to carry around a flint steel. Let's see. The next thing is the water. Overall, the water in this area of, this way, is basically a snow biome here, which is not how Stampy's is for the most part. So all the water freezes, and so I've added glowstone beneath all the water, and it's unfortunately now it's only 1 deep as a result, but any deeper and it starts to freeze again if I put the glowstones down. So I just left it at 1. But I mean, this neat little pattern, so you can see at night it's really cool. It's really quite lovely. and it goes, anywhere I have water is where I put that so that it stays water instead of ice. I mentioned in my last video that this area doesn't extend any farther. This is the edge of my world, so I had to kind of build out this way. So what I've done is I've just kind of kept it as the idea is that this is a kind of a port that when the ship comes in, this is like the docking, and then this is like kind of a village where the people on the ship can come and have shore leave or walk to their death. And they've got all things to do, hospitals and shops and whatnot, and things to get. So I've made this side of it kind of walled off as well, and just kind of more like a dock, which is the only real way I can really handle this. So anything at this point is going, this direction where I'm building out slowly. As you can see, I just kind of add on as I need it. Let's see, you got the water. There is a room that I made, which, I don't know, it's not that interesting, but it is a difference. Stampy has this room, this area down here by the animal farm, which doesn't really have anything in it. Kind of drippy ceilings and probably cobwebs and whatnot in here. And in here is the he keeps this, the glowstone, the redstone for the dog house, for the the dog biscuits and the pork chops. And there is this sort of empty space, so I just built it in, and my daughter filled it in with beds for reasons unknown. But so I can have a big, humongous sleepover. All the family can come for Christmas and whatnot. And the last thing I'm going to show you that's around the house area is the rocket ship, which I'm just going to fly to. The only real difference I made in this is I added what I'm calling an escape pod at the top, because there was some room up there, and I thought, let's just squeeze this in here. I thought, like, in the 60s, you had the lunar lander kind of popped off the top, and that's what actually went to the moon and stuff. And so I added a couple of windows. There's a glowstone here, and here is a couple of places to sit and a couple of computers and controls, and we can, they actually double as opening the hatch, but you can use this like I said, as an escape pod, or as the lunar lander. This area, which to my knowledge he hasn't filled in yet. Joe, if you're watching, that is aka Stampy, my suggestion is a kennel for your dog so that you can have a safe place for them to travel, or maybe a brig, like a jail, if you come across hit the target somewhere, so you can lock them up, or aliens, experimental tables maybe. I don't know, but there's plenty of room to do something in here, and I hope you have something in mind for that. The control room is the same, but the only reason I came here is just a note: if you have the Halo texture pack, use it. If you're in a place like this, or if you built one of these yourself, it's really cool. The gray wool is all like control panels automatically, and then adding all these buttons and stuff on top, it just makes it even more amazing. Everything's just really, really cool in the spaceship if you have the Halo pack. Okay, we're going to get out of here. We're going to go to the Funland, which for me, it's just easier to fly. There is a train I have that goes to it, but since it's in a totally different spot than in Stampy's world, which I have to fly past some random uncompleted buildings, it's just easier and faster to fly directly there. And you'll see here it pops in. Here's the creeper coasters popping in. I like it when all the stuff just sort of starts appearing. It's like, oh wow, look, it's all appearing. It's like a dream. Woo, that was a very hard work to put this together. Okay, so the big thing is that since a lot of these attractions have redstone involved, I found myself needing to have access to it, and so I usually built little hatches next to the rides, and sometimes Joe did that, and sometimes he just covered it up and he knows where to dig. But I decided to kind of take a page from the Walt Disney Manual, and underground here is a system of tunnels so that I can access all the redstone that's involved for all these games and rides. It's, I don't know, I hesitate to show it to you only because it's really complicated and I get lost down here most of the time. But it does serve a purpose to be able to access things. Here's some from the sheep game, the dispensers that shoot out your dye and your sheep shearers and so forth. And over here is this is what activates the winning game song, which for Stampy is like a doo doo doo. He just goes like doo 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 doo, and that's kind of it. But this actually does Shaun the Sheep. A weird short little version of it. Shaun the Sheep is a British TV show. It's a stop motion animation show. It's really good, great for kids, and I love it too for adults. Definitely one of those you can at least watch as an adult, and it just sort of makes this real short kind of It's on the sheep, doo 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 doo. It's on the sheep, doo 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 doo. And that's sort of the idea. Sorry about the singing. So that's one of the differences is there. Down this hallway is the up. What is it? The what goes up game. This is the redstone for that. Over here is the next tunnel. This is for a water rush, and I have made a difference to this game. In addition to the arrows coming out at the top, which I'll go outside and give you a little better view of it, I have also added pistons, 3 pistons that currently are extended. They're attached to the blue walkway that you walk on, and when you shoot the arrows, those retract, so that it gives you a place that you have to jump over. And oh dear, it's nighttime. So this area here where you're walking and you ow, and you normally, but usually can get through here really easily without any kind of problems. You can get to, flush that shark down the shaft pretty easily, but those retract now, so you have to either stop and wait for the timing of them to go, which that means you're standing in front of a arrow, or you don't realize they're there, and then whoop, you get dropped down to to the lower level, like here, and then you have to redo it. Anyway, that's still looking for other ways to make it even a little bit harder, but that's one of the differences I made there. And one of the weird parts about redstone, and I think most people will concur, if you've got something that's constantly looping, that's just going on all the time, sometimes when you come back into your world, it's just not working anymore, and you have to kind of kickstart it. This is one of those places in the K9 assault course. These flap open and close, and this goes up and down normally. And again, it sometimes just doesn't work all the time. So I just have one switched here that activates those, so that whenever you want to play it, you can just go ahead and switch that on. And this is, of course, the normal switch for getting it to the starting game. The same goes true for the golf course, which has that 4th hole that is the ice block that goes up and down. Sometimes it just wouldn't work for me anymore, so I just built a switch for it. So I do that here, and then it starts going up and down and up and down. And when it's off, there's no cheating. It's closed up, so there's no problem there. Let's see. One last thing I wanted to show you, and it's dark, but it's still lovely, isn't it? And here's the new ride that they're working on, where you hook the minecarts with the fishing rods. But so I'm looking forward to seeing how that gets finished up. And the Wiggly Worm game can get very confusing as far as which row of buttons you've pushed. So I've added a row of lanterns, redstone lanterns here, and you can see, I'll just reveal what's under here. This is really simple to add if you're building this game, or Joe, if you're watching, to do. Just add another row of repeaters on the other side of the note blocks, and then you can kind of see there's more wool. They go into wool blocks, the green wool blocks, and then I just put the lanterns on top of there, so that not only when you hear the bing, you will also, this will light up. So you'll be able to easily track which ones of these you've already done, because a lot of times you're pressing buttons and turning around saying, okay, it's your turn, Bob. And then, you're like, oh, where did I go? Where did I go? Where did I go? And then you get lost and you don't know which ones, and it just turns into a mess. I think in one of the videos, Lee actually put down little torches to keep himself straight, which is what sparked the idea, actually, and it turned out to be a really, really simple fix. And everybody seems to like it who comes to play with it. And so that is my improvement for that, which I think is one of the best improvements I've made for any of these games, if I do say so myself. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Come play sometime. My Xbox name is Darman68, all one word. Send me friend requests if you haven't already. Some people have played in here. I think they've been having a good time. You know, as we add new games, I like to get new people, and I'd like to maybe do a few videos, you know, of us playing games, and maybe Joe Stampy will see them sometime and get to see, you know, other people enjoying his games, and he doesn't actually have to, you know, stop and take time to let complete strangers into his world, because that's always a little bit dangerous and scary. But anyway, thanks for watching.